Hey, good morning, friends, and welcome to this week's edition of the Saturday Snapshot. And I'm going to start by just sharing with you a bunch of announcements because we don't always get to share with you all the announcements on Sunday morning, and I want you to get those on the front end. I do want to remind you that coming this Thursday, which will be March 16th, we will have a charge conference. It will be in the chapel and we will be meeting at 4 o'clock. So if you consider yourself a member of the church, you are more than welcome to come and be a part of the conversation. But only those who are in the leadership roles will have vote. We will be talking about one specific item. I mentioned this last week, and we'll continue to mention that tomorrow. The item that we will be voting on is the reduction of my salary, and so we will be we'll have discussion around that, and then we will have a vote. Reverend Dion Hammond, our district superintendent, will be here to provide oversight and direction for that charge conference. So again, that'll be Thursday, March 16th at 4 p.m. And we hope that you're there in attendance to be a part of that important conversation. Also on the 16th, we will be hosting the Coalition of Immokalee Workers, and that group is they're actually doing a walk. They're marching from Pahokee across the state. I mean, it's not quite over to the Gulf of Mexico, but from the West Coast to the East Coast to Palm Beach area. And the reason that they're doing that is to raise our awareness and to raise awareness to how many workers, farm workers, are mistreated, and it's in response to various cases. The write-up for that is in the bulletin. But we have the privilege of hosting them Thursday evening and Friday evening, and then if we'd like to join with them on Saturday to finish up their walk, there's ways to do that. But here's some specific ways that we're inviting you to be a part. On that Thursday at 10 a.m., we need a prep group to gather in the gathering place so we can pick up the chairs and kind of move them aside and clean up the floors because that's where they will be housing themselves Thursday evening and Friday. And so Thursday morning around 10 o'clock, there'll be a group of folks that will gather to clean the gathering place. Then immediately following charge conference, we could use a team that will help serve the evening meal to the team that will be staying on the campus. And so we will meet and greet with them and be able to hear what their experience has been like as they've come across the state, hear why they're doing that, and just a chance to fellowship with them. And so that'll be right after charge conference. We'll have that opportunity to meet with them. Then on Friday morning, we will have another opportunity to prep the room for a dinner that will go on that evening. There's a good chance that the workers will help us in the setting up the tables and things like that. So just that time may be to be determined for that. But that Saturday morning, we'll need a group of folks to help transition the gathering place back into a worship space. So they will put the chairs back out for us, but we'll just need to make sure that everything is good and clean and ready to go. So if you're able to help with that, that'll be at 10 o'clock Saturday morning. A couple other things that you can do. While they're coming across the state, they'll be carrying a lot of stuff with them, but they're not able to have fresh fruit because they won't have refrigeration trucks along the way. And if we're able to provide them some fresh fruit, that would be awesome. So there's probably going to be about 60 or 70 folks that are walking across. They're going to be escorted by police officers and things like that. If you would like to donate fruit and be a driver to go out and meet them with that fresh fruit, please reach out to the church office so we can give you some specific instructions on how we will do that. Also, as I said, on Saturday, they will be ending up downtown in West Palm Beach. And if you'd like to participate in that, if you would use our Text in Church app or your message app and type in the letters CIW to 561-571-8964, you're going to receive a link that will take you to the CIW website for you to be able to register. They need all of us to register, and then that will give you the specific instructions on where to meet, how transportation will work, and all those kinds of things. So again, that was CIW is what you'll put in the message portion, but you're going to type that to 561-571-8964. So, this has been a long week, and Brenda came in my office yesterday and said, "Hey, don't forget to set your clock back an hour." And I was like, "You got to be kidding me." So hopefully you saw her email that went out yesterday to remind us that we do indeed set our clocks ahead an hour. And so I hope that you'll do that, or if not, that means you're going to be on time for something at some time. And speaking of on time, be in prayer for Gerald. Gerald has really been battling some lung issues this past week, and will not be able to be with us in worship. And so we'll still have our modern worship service at 9 o'clock, and we'll certainly miss Gerald, but we will manage and have a great opportunity to display again our love and our devotion to God. So hopefully you'll make plans to be with us either at 9 o'clock or 11:15. Or join with us online. Would you believe we are 28 days away from Easter? I mean, time once again is flying, and I just want you to be mindful of some of the things that were going on. We will have a Maundy, Thursday service, which will be, I thought I had that down, April 6th, I believe that is. I want to say it's Easter is on April 9th, so if I count back to Easter, April 6th at 6:30, we will have our Maundy, Thursday service. And then on Friday, our Good Friday service, we're going to do something a little bit different this year. I'm going to invite you to be in a spirit of prayer and fasting from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., and then invite you to come to the church. And we're going to set up, I know that you guys have done this in the past. I've been told that you've done this in the past. And so we're going to do a little bit kind of the same thing, but a little bit different. Let's say it that way. And we will have Stations of the Cross. And at each, we're going to give you a kind of a devotional book that you can carry with you. And as you arrive at each station, you'll spend time in reflection, do the activity that's listed there. But we're gonna make that kind of around the clock from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. You come whenever you want, and you move from station to station whenever you want. You can make as many circuits as you want. So this will be kind of a self-led time for you to be alone with God on Good Friday, and then we will encourage you, of course, to join with us on Easter for our Easter morning celebration, both at 9 and 11:15. And then the kiddos will be having an Easter egg hunt, and for that to be successful, we need you to donate candy as well as to volunteer to help stuff those eggs and hide those eggs. And so Manu has provided some instructions on how to do that. Some of you may be noticing I'm wearing this kind of bright green shirt today. Believe it or not, it's not a shirt. I just finished running another 10K. I did the Shamrock over at John Prince Park today, and it was meant to be my last kind of tune-up run before I do the Singer Island half marathon next month. And I went out with a specific goal in mind, which was I wanted to run this 10K faster than I had run the previous 10K back in January, February timeframe. I forget when it was, but here's a question I'm inviting you to think about. Have you ever won at something, but you didn't actually win? Let me explain. Like I said, I had a goal, which was to run this 10K faster than my last 10K, and I did. I ran this 10K faster than my last 10K, but I didn't win. I didn't win the way that I wanted to win. This 10K was meant to be a time where I would have. Let me say it this way: the reason I didn't win is the pace that I had was not the pace that would have sustained me for a full half marathon. The first 2.5 miles was pretty crowded. And the trail was pretty narrow, and so I found myself running a lot harder and a lot faster than I wanted to, and I was running at a pace that I could not sustain. And so when I got around about 4.5 miles in, I had to walk a whole lot more than I intended. Now I had built up enough of a cushion to finish faster than my previous 10K. So I checked the box, right? I won in that race, in that category. But the real point of the run was to be disciplined. It was to maintain a pace that I could sustain throughout the entire run. And I didn't. I wasn't disciplined in that way. I shared it with you because, we've been having these conversations about the budget, and we've been talking about shortfalls, and in that conversation, and we've been talking about changes and things along that way. And in that conversation, in those conversations, numerous people have developed a lot of different ideas and methodologies on how to address the shortfall. And here's my thought on this: is that we may, we could do yard sales, we could do spaghetti dinners, all those we can do a whole lot of different ways to meet the goal, right? In this case, it's $755,000, or if we wanted to keep the staff at everything, if we wanted to keep everything the way it was, we could meet the goal of 1.2 million. That's what it basically costs us to keep all that. We could rent out the facilities more. We could have spaghetti dinners. We could make sure we're doing ushering, all those things. And we would check the box that we raised the funds, but we would kind of be missing another point. I don't think God is, and maybe this is where there may be some disagreement. I think God is inviting us to look at our spiritual discipline. God is inviting us to reflect on our consistency of not the amount of money that we give. God's inviting us to reflect on our reliance on a consistent basis on Him, our capacity to grow in our ability to trust God. And so we could win in one way and yet still lose the race, is what I'm trying to say. If we're not really connected to what God wants to do with us in this process of trying to raise the funds for our budget kind of thing. So I just invite you to think. I thought about that as I was finishing this race. While I finished it below the time that I wanted, it still was not a win because I didn't finish it the way I wanted to finish it, the way that I had intended to finish it. And so if there's anything there that speaks to you, I invite you to reflect on that and to be in prayer about that. I hope you have a wonderful Saturday. I'll look forward to being with you tomorrow in worship. And may you continue to make it an intentional practice to listen for God's voice, to ask God, hey, what are you doing today that I might be able to join with you and be a part of? And I trust that God will certainly answer that question. Again, look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye.